हाम्रो परमेश्वरको महिमाको निम्ति हामी उहाँको उपस्थितिमा भेला भएको आज हामी पवित्र दिन हो।
This is the second day of the conference that we all are gathered under the shadow of the glory of God.
अनि यी दिनहरूमा परमेश्वरले साँच्चै हामीलाई उहाँको सिंहासनको नजिक ल्याएर केही कुराहरू सिकाउँदै हुनुहुन्छ।
And God has freed us near the throne of His grace, and He is directly feeding us from His grace, the throne of grace.
ताकि उहाँका मानिसहरू शक्तिशाली भएर संसारमा राज्य गर्न सकुन् भनेर,
so that His people may be strengthened and that they might rule in the kingdom of the darkness.
उहाँको उद्देश्य नै उहाँका मानिसहरूले राज्य गर्नु हो।
One of the purpose and plan of God is that His people may rule and have a dominion.
अनि त्यो राज्य गर्नको लागि हामीसँग चाहिने योग्यता को लागि उहाँले केही त्यस्ता ड्रागनहरू पठाइराख्नु भएको छ जो हामीमा भएको कुराहरूलाई जलाउनको लागि।
And in order for us to become a ruler, and for us to have a dominion on this earth, and God wants us to change our status, change our position from the worm to the dragon. So He is adding us, giving us the new elements so that we can become a dragon.
अनि हामीसँग त्यस्ता बेबिलोनी संरचनाहरू छन्, इजिप्टियन संरचनाहरू छन्, अनि आदममा भएको संरचनाहरू छन्। ती सबै संरचनाहरूलाई डराउनलाई त्यस्ता व्यक्तिहरू तयार पारेर पठाउनु भयो जो चाहिँ हाम्रो पास्टर वेस्ली, पास्टर चिन्डी, उहाँको मुखबाट परमेश्वरले आफ्नो आगो निकाल्दै हुनुहुन्छ।
And this is like how Pastor Cindy and Pastor Wesley, what they share is like the fire of a sword from their mouth, like how the dragon release the flame of fire in the form of the sword. What they are releasing this morning is like a flame of fire in the form of the sword, so that we can come out of this Egyptian bondage, Babylonian bondage, and the Adamic nature.
अनि यी सबै कुराहरू पुरानो करारको समयमा चाहिँ त्यो नेचुरली रूपमा बेबिलोन थियो, इजिप्ट थियो, अनि त्यसपछि आदमको नेचरमा मानिसहरू जिरहेका थिए।
In the Old Testament, this was a literal Egyptian. Egypt was literal, Babylon was literal, and Adam was literal in the Old Testament.
तर अहिले नयाँ करारमा जब येशू ख्रीष्ट आउनुभयो, ती कुराहरू चाहिँ आत्मिक रूपमा हाम्रो शत्रुहरू भएर हामीलाई अट्याक गरिरहेको छ।
But in the New Testament, in the time of Jesus and in the New Testament, these elements are the spiritual elements, and these are the spiritual systems and the spiritual enemies that we have to deal with.
अनि त्यो आत्मिक शत्रुलाई नाश गर्नको लागि चाहिँ त्यो ड्रागनहरू, त्यो परमेश्वरको वचनको आगो नै आवश्यक पर्छ।
And because these are the spiritual elements, so God wants us to deal with this spiritually, and God wants to release the fire of the sword in the spirit.
अनि आज जुन वचनहरू पास्टर वेस्ली र सिन्डीबाट हाम्रो बिचमा आएको छ,
And the word that we have received from Pastor Wesley and Pastor Cindy,
अनि यो सबै कुरा हाम्रो आँखाले हेरिसकेका छौँ।
and we have seen all this structure, all this blueprint,
अनि हामीले यो सबै कुरा हाम्रो कानले सुनिसकेका छौँ।
and we have heard all these things,
हामीसँग अब सुनेका थिएनौँ भन्ने बहाना छैन।
and we don't have excuses that we didn't hear and we didn't understood. We don't have such kind of excuses.
अनि हामी यो सबै कुरा सुनिसकेपछि हामीले गरेनौँ भने, त्यो अनुसार हिँडेनौँ भने परमेश्वरको सामु मैले गरेको थिइनँ भनेर भन्न सकिने छैन।
So if we, after hearing and seeing all this, if we don't apply this into our life, and if we don't practice these things, then surely we will be accountable to God. We have to answerable to God.
परमेश्वरले जुन वचन पठाउनुहुन्छ त्यो अनुसार हामीले गर्नलाई हाम्रो हृदयहरू तयार हुनुपर्दछ।
We have to prepare our hearts and life, and whatever God says us, whatever God gives us the word, we have to prepare our hearts so that we can do it immediately.
अनि आजको बिहान त्यसै पास्टर वैद्यले हामीलाई सामसन र एस्टरको बारेमा केही कुराहरू बताउनु भयो।
As Pastor Wesley was explaining us about the life of Samson Samson and Esther.
सिम्सोनको बोलावटमा सिम्सोनले कसरी लापरवाही जीवन दियो त्यो पनि हामीले बुझ्यौँ।
He was explaining that how the Samson squandered his calling and the precious gift and the precious position, the precious calling that God called to him.
अनि हामीले एस्तरले कसरी काम गर्यो त्यो पनि बुझ्यौँ।
And also we saw that how Esther was, how she reacted, how she fervently did the things.
यो सबै शिक्षाहरू चाहिँ हामीलाई सुधार्नको निम्ति परमेश्वरले हामीलाई दिनुभएको।
And all those things are for our provocation, for our improvement and for our learning.
कतिजना यो कुरालाई मानिलिनुहुन्छ, यो कुरा चाहिँ
How many of you accept that this, all those things has come to improve us, all those things has come to teach us something new.
साउथ अफ्रिकाबाट दुईटा ड्रागनहरू पठाइदिनु भयो परमेश्वरले।
And God has sent a new dragon from the South Africa to Dubai.
तिनीहरूले आएर हाम्रो बिचमा भएको बेबिलोनी, इजिप्टियन र आदमिक संरचनाहरूलाई ध्वस्त पार्दै हुनुहुन्छ।
And those dragons who have a flame of a fire in their mouth, who are destroying the system and the boundaries of Babylon, the Egyptian and the Adamic nation.
अब त्यही ड्रागनको स्पिरिट अब यो घरमा पनि आएको छ अनि सबै अब ड्रागनहरू भएर खडा हुँदैछन्।
And the same spirit has come over here, and the same spirit of the power and the dragon has come over this household, and even this household has to raise in the same status, in the same power and the same anointing that they have.
अनि अब हामीले सबैभन्दा पहिला अर्कालाई डराउनु भन्दा पहिला हामी भित्र भएको बेबिलोनीहरूलाई डराउनु पर्छ।
So before we destroy anything else in the outside there, we have to destroy the things that is existing within us. We have to start from within.
अनि अर्कालाई डराउनु भन्दा पहिला आफू डरेर आफू प्योर भएको हुनुपर्ने हुन्छ।
So before consuming anything else outside there, we have to consume the elements, all the ungodly elements that is existing within us.
And
We have to start from ourselves.
त्यहाँबाट तपाईले अरूमा भएको बेबिलोनी, इजिप्टियन र आदमिक प्रिन्सिपलहरूलाई अरूमा जलाउन सक्नुहुनेछ।
When you purify yourself, when you deal with yourself, when you destroy this system within yourself, then only you can go out there and you can deal with others and you can destroy, and you can consume from others from outside.
Thank you, Pastor Wesley and Pastor Cindy. God bless you.
परमेश्वरले आशीष दिनुभएको होस् पास्टर वेस्ली र पास्टर
एक्चुअली म एकदमै आशिषित भएँ कि यो मेरो समझभन्दा बाहिरको कुरा चाहिँ परमेश्वरले मलाई यी कुराहरू बुझ्ने अनुग्रह गर्नुभयो।
And these things, all these things is totally out of my mind and out of my understanding. This is beyond my comprehension. But God made me able to understand and to get these things. He made me able to understand these things.
अब नेपालमा त्यस्ता बेबिलोनीहरू छन् अनि त्यस्ता इजिप्टियनहरू अनि त्यस्ता आदमिक संरचनाहरू छन् जसलाई चाहिँ साक्षात जलाउनको निम्ति एउटा ड्रागन बनेर म
Even in the land of Nepal, all these systems are existingly they are very prevailing. These systems are very prevailing there. So from now onwards, I also have decided to raise as a dragon and go back and deal with all those systems there.
मलाई आशा छ मेरो परमेश्वरले मलाई यो सामर्थ्य दिएर खडा गर्नुहुनेछ।
I believe that God will strengthen me and He will raise me up in this status.
हालेलुया।
Hallelujah.
अब म मेरो आफ्नो टपिकमा जानेछु।
So I want to go to the word now. This is only casting.
उहाँको कुराले वचनले म साह्रै उत्साहित भएको कारणले अब ममा पनि त्यस्तो केही कुराहरू छन् जसलाई परमेश्वरले मेरो हृदयमा हालिदिनु भएको छ। आज म तपाईँलाई त्यो पनि बताउन चाहन्छु।
So I was so encouraged with these things, and I was so encouraged, and also I would like to share something that God has kept in my heart.
सबैले यसलाई कपी बनाउनु भयो? कपी बनाउनु भयो भने म यसलाई भेटिदिन्छु।
What we learned yesterday?
Divine design. ईश्वरीय योजना है त के को विषयमा सुनेको थियो ओके अनि आज म हिजो चाहिँ मैले अलिकति त्यसलाई कम्प्लिट गर्न पाइन
Yesterday we heard about the kingdom, the God's plan and the
हिजो
design.
हामीले सिकेको कुरा चाहिँ
But
सबैलाई
we
थाहा
couldn't
छ
complete it.
है
Divine design.
डिभाइन डिजाइन हामी सबैलाई थाहा छ हिजो हामीले ईश्वरीय योजनाको बारेमा हामीले सिकेका थियौँ
So we learned about the divine design yesterday, but could not complete it.
अनि म तपाईलाई सोध्छु तपाईले बताउनु पर्नेछ मैले के गरेको थिएँ हिजो
So now I'm going to put some question here. So you have to answer me whatever you have remembered, whatever you have learned yesterday.
अनि सबैभन्दा पहिला मैले के को बारेमा कुरा गरेको थिएँ
What was the first topic?
यस भेरी गुड
Kingdom of God.
हामीले सबैभन्दा पहिला किङडम अफ गड को बारेमा सरी
ठीक है.
ठिक है किङडम अफ गड है
So first things was the kingdom of God.
एकदमै ध्यानसँग सुन्नुस् है
So I want you to follow me very carefully here.
विश्वास केबाट आउँछ
The faith comes by
पढाइबाट हो
सुनाइबाट
सुनाइबाट
hearing.
आउँछ
The faith comes by hearing.
अनि जब तपाईले सुन्नुहुन्छ त्यसलाई विश्वास गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ
And whenever you hear the right things, then you have to believe in the right things.
यदि तपाई अपोजिटमा खडा हुनुभयो अविश्वास गर्नुभयो भने त्यसले तपाईको जीवनमा काम गर्छ
So if you hear but don't believe, then it will not work for you.
अनि परमेश्वरको वचन चाहिँ बिहान हाम्रो भाइ प्रकाशले भन्दै हुन्थ्यो त्यसले कसले भन्दै हुन्थ्यो तिमोथीले भन्दै हुन्थ्यो त्यो चाहिँ खोसेर लैजान्छ अरे
So as Brother Timothy was saying in the morning, that if you listen, if you hear, and if you don't understand, then the enemy will come and snatch
अनि
it away.
अनि अर्को कुरा के थियो
The second thing was
हाउसहोल्ड अफ गड हैन
the second thing was the household of God.
अनि अब तेस्रो कुरा चाहिँ के छ त टेम्पल अफ गड
The temple of God.
है अब तपाईले यो तीनै कुरालाई तपाईले राम्रोसँग हेरिराख्नु भएको छ अनि यो तीनटा कुरा भन्दा बाहिरको जति पनि संरचनाहरू छ परमेश्वरले डिजाइन गर्नुभएको होइन
So anything, any structure that will build a church out of this form, out of this structure is not from God, is from the humanism.
अनि मैले भने सम्पूर्ण ब्रह्माण्डको राज्यहरूको परमेश्वरको राज्यको संसारको राज्यको सम्पूर्ण कुराको सृष्टिकर्ता चाहिँ को हुनुहुन्छ त
So yesterday we see that all the creator of everything
गड चाहिँ
was God himself.
हामीले के भनेका थियौं क्रिएटर क्रिएटर ओके तपाईले फेरि यो रिमाइन्ड हुन्छ तपाईलाई सम्झना हुन्छ अनि परमेश्वरको घरानामा को हुनुहुन्छ भेरी गुड सबैले एकदमै याद गर्नु भएको रहेछ खुसी
So
लाग्यो
God is Father, God is a creator in His kingdom, and He is a father in the household.
अनि यतापट्टि आएर परमेश्वरको मन्दिरमा परमेश्वर को हुनुहुन्छ होली गड ओके होली 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 गड भनेर हामी भन्छौँ अनि त्यसपछि येशू ख्रीष्टले यहाँ हामी हेर्छौँ अब येशू ख्रीष्टको बारेमा हामी हेर्छौँ परमेश्वरको राज्यमा येशू ख्रीष्ट को हुनुहुन्छ तपाईले फेरि म हिजोको कुरालाई दोहोऱ्यायो त्यही त दोहोऱ्यायो कि भनेर नसोच्नु होला म यहाँ
So Jesus Christ is the King of the kings in His kingdom.
किङ अफ किङ ओके ओके अनि येशू ख्रीष्ट परमेश्वरको घरानामा को हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ चाहिँ पहिलो पुत्र हुनुहुन्छ है फर्स्ट सन अफ गड
He is a firstborn son.
ध्यान दिएर सुन्नुहोस् है फेरि अहिले फेरि म तपाईँलाई अनि येशू ख्रीष्ट परमेश्वरको मन्दिरमा को हुनुहुन्छ
Jesus is high priest in terms of the temple of God.
हाई प्रिस्ट बुझ्नुभयो यो सबै कुरा अनि तपाईँले यसपछि हामीले के को बारेमा कुरा गरेका थियौँ हामी है अब हामी चाहिँ को हो त परमेश्वरको राज्यमा
People of God.
है अब यो कुरा मैले किन ल्याएको भन्ने कुरा अहिले पछि तपाईँले थाहा पाउनुहुन्छ अनि परमेश्वरको राज्यमा हामी चाहिँ को हौ
Adopted son.
ग्रहण गरिएको छोराहरू हौ अनि यतापट्टि हाम्रो परमेश्वरको मन्दिरमा हामी को हौ
Royal priest.
पहिला थाहा छ नगरी क्या हो
We are the royal priest in terms of the temple.
है यो भयो होइन अब यहाँनिर अब तपाईँलाई म राम्रोसँग बताउन चाहन्छु हिजो डाक्टर सिन्डीले हामीलाई के भन्नुभयो भन्दाखेरि हाम्रो खजाना चाहिँ के हो भन्नुभयो होइन के हो भन्नुभयो
Yesterday, the Dr. Cindy was asking about the treasure. What is the meaning of the treasure? And we know that she explained about calling.
अब कलिङलाई बुझ्नलाई चाहिँ हामीले यहाँ थाहा पाउनुपर्छ परमेश्वरको राज्यमा हामी चाहिँ के भनेर कलिङ गरिएका छौँ
And we must understand that in the kingdom of God, how we have been called. एकछिन इङ्ग्लिस चाहिँदैन अब ध्यानसँग नेपालीबाट सुन्नुभयो
अब परमेश्वरको राज्यमा हामी चाहिँ के हौ त
People of God.
People of God.
परमेश्वरको परमेश्वरको प्रजाहरू चाहिँ परमेश्वरको राज्यमा चाहिँ हामीलाई परमेश्वरले उहाँको प्रजाहरू भनेर कलिङ गर्नुभएको छ
Amen.
बुझ्दै हुन्छ अब अनि परमेश्वरको घरानामा हामीलाई के भनेर कलिङ गर्नुभएको छ छोराहरू भनेर कलिङ गर्नुभएको छ अनि परमेश्वरको मन्दिरमा हामीलाई चाहिँ उहाँले के भनेर कलिङ गर्नुभएको छ रोयल प्रिस्ट है अनि अब यो सबै कुरामा परमेश्वरको राज्यको कन्स्टिट्युसन भन्छ है त्यो विधान चाहिँ के हो वर्ड अफ गॉड है तपाईले राम्रोसँग ध्यान दिनु विधान चाहिँ के हो
परमेश्वरको वचन
अनि अब यहाँनिर म तपाईलाई बताउन चाहन्छु अनि यो चाहिँ कसले विधानमा पालन गर्छ कसले सिकाउँछ है
आत्मिक किताब
है अनि त्यसपछि आएर अनि हामी चाहिँ यहाँनिर परमेश्वरको मन्दिरमा चाहिँ के गर्छौँ त
आराधना गर्छौँ
उहाँको आराधना गर्छौँ हामी वर्शिप गॉड
परमेश्वरको आराधना गर्छौँ अब यो सबै मैले फेरि किन ल्याएको भन्दा तपाईँ छक्क पर्नु होला है अब म तपाईँलाई यसको बारेमा राम्रोसँग बताउन चाहन्छु परमेश्वरको राज्यमा चाहिँ हामीलाई पस्नलाई धेरै कठिनसँग पस्नुपर्छ भनेर अघि डाक्टर सिन्डीले बताउँदै हुन्थ्यो अनि हामीले प्रेरित 14 को 22 पदमा भन्छ एकदमै गाह्रो हुन्छ रे परमेश्वरको राज्यमा पस्नलाई एकदमै गाह्रो हुन्छ तर अब हामी उहाँको राज्यमा बस्नको लागि हामीले आफूले आफूलाई तयार गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ कष्ट भोग्न पनि तयार हुनुपर्ने हुन्छ एकदमै दुःख भोग्न पनि तयार हुनुपर्छ अब यहाँनिर अब घरको विषयमा म अहिले लास्टमा बताउँछु अनि अब चाहिँ म परमेश्वरको मन्दिरको आराधना गर्नुको विषयमा म तपाईँलाई बताउन चाहन्छु परमेश्वर आत्मा हुनुहुन्छ तपाईँलाई थाहा छ परमेश्वर को हुनुहुन्छ अनि परमेश्वरलाई आराधना गर्ने जति पनि मानिसहरूले आत्मा र सत्यतामा आराधना गर्नुपर्छ केमा आराधना गर्नुपर्छ आत्मा र सत्यतामा आराधना गर्नुपर्छ अनि त्यो चाहिँ परमेश्वरले आफ्नो मानिसहरूबाट चाहनुहुन्छ अनि यहाँनिर म तपाईँलाई फेरि पनि अर्को कुरा बताउन चाहन्छु। अब यो परमेश्वरको घरको विषयमा म तपाईँलाई अलिकति बताउन चाहन्छु। अनि यो सबै कुरामा अब अहिले हामीले चर्च भनेर कुरा गर्छौँ नि, चर्च भनेर कुरा गर्छौँ। चर्च भनेको यो तिनवटामा कुन चाहिँलाई चर्च भन्छ?
कुन चाहिँ चिन्छ भने तीन मध्ये कुन चाहिँ मण्डली
All.
यस, प्रकाशले ताली बजाइदिउँ।
So all these three, in general, we call it church for all these three.
अनि यो चर्च चाहिँ यो तिनटै कुरा चाहिँ बनेर एउटा मण्डली बन्छ, चर्च हुन्छ यो।
So we call the church all these three. If we combine together and say we know as a church, as a complete church.
अनि चर्चमा यो तिनटै कुराको चर्चको चर्च राष्ट्रिय पाएपछि हुन्छ है। अनि चर्च भनेर यो तिनटै कुराभित्र चर्चभित्र यो तिनटै कुरा पर्दछन्।
So these all three are included in the church.
अनि परमेश्वरको राज्यमा जिउनुपर्ने कुरा डाक्टर सिंहले सबै कुरा बताइसक्नुभयो।
And Dr. Singh has explained most of the things and many things that we need to live within the kingdom life.
यसको बारेमा पनि मसँग बताउने अलि टाइम छैन।
And I don't have much time to explain furthermore about this.
यसको बारेमा यो सबै कुरा बताउनलाई मेरो जिन्दगीभरि बताउन सुरु गर्दा पनि सकिने छैन।
And those things and these are the things we can explain for our lifetime and not complete all.
अनि सम्पूर्ण पृथ्वीको मानिसले एकैचोटि बताउन सुरु गरे भने पनि यो सबै कुरालाई एक्सप्लेन गर्न सक्दैन।
And this is beyond our human understanding and before our humanity.
अब म परमेश्वरको यो विषयमा आज चाहिँ कम्प्लिट कुरा गर्न म नेपालबाट एक कुराको लागि आएको छु कि यो कुरा बताउन चाहन्छु।
Today I want to deal with this specifically about the household of God. I want to explain thoroughly about the household of God.
यो घरमा अब छोराहरू कसरी चल्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा हामीले सिक्यौँ भने मात्रै हामीले परमेश्वरको उद्देश्य पूरा गर्न सक्छौँ।
So if the sons know how to conduct in the house, then only we can complete a certain purpose and the intention of God in the house, the plan of God in the house.
कतिजना चाहनुहुन्छ साथै यो कुरा सुन्नलाई?
So how many of you are ready to receive this things?
अब यहाँनिर यो परमेश्वर पिता हुनुहुन्छ अनि उहाँको छोराछोरी चाहिँ परमेश्वरको इच्छा अनुसारको जीवन जिउनलाई उहाँले जिएको चाहनुहुन्छ।
So God is being a father. He wants his children to be obedient to him.
अब तपाईले विचार गर्नुहोस्, हामी धर्मशास्त्रबाट हेरेछौँ बाइबलमा को वाणी कसरी चले।
Now we are going to examine from the Bible.
अनि परमेश्वरको घरमा चल्नको लागि परमेश्वरले हामीलाई केही तौर तरिकाहरू दिनुभएको छ।
And there is a rules and there is a protocols, there is a regulations in the house of the Lord.
सबैभन्दा पहिला म आदमको छोराहरूबाट म तपाईँलाई एक्जाम्पल दिन चाहन्छु।
So I would like to start from the sons of Adam.
आदमको छोरा कैन चाहिँ घरमा बाउसँग कसरी रहनु पर्थ्यो भन्ने कुरा उनले सिक्न सकेन।
Adam had two sons, and the first son Cain, he did not know that how to conduct in the house, how to relate to his father.
आदमले आफ्नो बाउलाई परमेश्वरलाई कस्तो खालको आराधना गर्नुपर्छ, कस्तो खालको भेटी लगेर जानुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा सोधेन।
Cain did not ask his father that what kind of offering I should take to God, what kind of offering I should offer to God.
कैनले लगेर गएको भेटी परमेश्वरले ग्रहण गर्नु भएन।
And whatever offering that Cain took, it was within his determination, and God did not accept his offering.
अनि के रे हाबिलले लगेर गएको भेटी ग्रहण गर्नुभयो।
But God accepted the offering of Abel.
तर एउटा घरमा तीन प्रकारको छोराहरू थिए त्यहाँनिर।
There was three kind of sons in the one house.
अनि एउटा चाहिँ आफ्नो मर्जीले भेटी लगेर जाने छोरा थिए, आफ्नो तरिकाले सेवाकाई गर्ने मानिस थिए।
There was a son who used to do the ministry, who used to live by himself in his own understanding.
उसले चाहिँ आफ्नो तरिकाले परमेश्वरलाई प्रसन्न पार्न चाह्यो।
He wanted to please God in his own way.
त्यसलाई परमेश्वरले ग्रहण गर्नु भएन।
and God rejected it.
अनि अर्को हाबिलले पनि जुन भेटी लगेर गएको थियो त्यो पनि उसले बाउले सिकाएको होइन, उसले परमेश्वरलाई म प्रसन्न पार्छु भनेर परमेश्वरले दिनुभएको कुरा भनेर लगेर चढायो।
And the second one is Abel. He took an offering by the revelation to God, and he took offering to God through the revelation, and God accepted his offering.
अनि परमेश्वरले ग्रहण गर्नुभयो।
And God accepted that.
तर हामी हाबिल जस्तो एउटा गुवाचे छोराहरू पनि हुनु हुँदैन।
And we must not be like Abel only.
तपाईँलाई थाहा छ गुवाचे भनेको के हो?
Also Allah.
अनि हाबिलले चाहिँ जुन भेटी चढाइसक्यो,
He was so naive. He was so, I think naive is a word होला हैन. He was so innocent. He was so gullible.
उसले चढायो भेटी, तर घरमा कसरी जिउनुपर्छ भन्ने सिक्न सकेन हाबिलले।
And he offered the offering to the Lord, but he did not know that how to conduct certain things in the house.
जब कैनले भन्यो आऊ भाइ हामी खेतमा जाऊ भनेर यसरी बोलायो,
But when Cain called him to the land, to the field,
तर उसले बाउसँग फर्केर बाबा मलाई भाइले बोलाउँदैछ जाउँ कि नजाउँ भनेन।
but Abel did not turn to his father and ask that my brother is calling me to the field, should I go with him or not?
कैन दुष्ट मानिस थियो, परमेश्वरसँग रिसाएको मानिस थियो, परमेश्वरको विद्रोही भएको थियो, त्यस मानिसको सल्लाहमा हिँड्नुहुन्छ कि हुँदैन भनेर बाउलाई सोधेन।
And Abel, by this time, Abel already know that Cain had become evil, and because God did not accept his offering, and since he became evil, and then Abel had to ask to his father that should I go with him or not.
अनि कैनले त्यसै बोलाएर लग्यो, उसले बाउलाई नचितिकन कुई कैनसँग गइहाल्यो।
So when Cain called his brother to the field, then just gullibly he went to the field with his brother.
कैनलाई हाबिलमा भएको जुन सुरक्षा बाउबाट अलग गरेर लगेर गयो।
So there was a reason that why Abel was killed, because he disconnected. He just went out of the territory of the grace. He left the house and went down to the field with his brother.
घरमा रहेर पनि घरमा बाबुसँग कुनै परमिसन नलिकन परमेश्वरको वचनको विद्रोह गर्ने मान्छेसँग गइहाल्यो।
And he just left the house. It means he left the presence of his father. And he went to the field with his brother, who have no presence of the Lord, and who have evil intention with him.
अनि उसलाई सजिलो भयो ठ्याक्कै एकजना मार्न।
Then it was for Cain. It was very easy to kill him, but he took him in the field.
धर्मी जीवन त थियो, तर घरमा कसरी रहनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा उसले हामीले कहिले पनि सिकेन।
He was a righteous man. He was innocent man. He was very innocent man in the sight of the Lord. But certain things he could not decide. He could not act maturely in the house.
त्यसै कारणले गर्दा दुष्ट मानिसले उसलाई मार्न।
That's why he was victim of the hand of the evil one.
अनि घरमा रहनु पनि हामीले सिक्नु पर्ने हुन्छ।
So we also must learn how to behave and how to conduct certain things in the house. How to be in the house. How to be within the protection of a grace in the house.
यदि हामीले बाउलाई सोधेको भए कहीँसँग नजाए त्यो मान्छे त खराब छ भनेर बाउले सल्लाह दिन सक्थ्यो स्पिरिचुअल फादरले।
If Abel could have asked his father could have denied to going him out with his brother.
अनि बाउसँग सल्लाह नलिकन जे जसले बोलाए त्यसले हिँडेको कारणले छाडा भएर जहाँ जानु मन लाग्यो गरेको कारणले गर्दाखेरि उसलाई शत्रुले मार्न सफल भयो।
And because Abel, he just left the house and he went with his evil brother, then he was murdered.
अब हामी तेस्रो छोराको बारेमा कुरा गर्छौँ।
Then there is a third son of Adam.
अनि आदम हाबिलको बदला परमेश्वरले शेतलाई दिनुभयो।
And there was another son of Adam, his name was Seth.
अनि बाइबलले भन्छ त्यस समयदेखि मानिसहरूले परमप्रभुको आराधना गरेछ।
So Bible says that from that time onwards, the people begin to worship Lord. They begin to call upon the name of the Lord.
अनि हामी कैन जस्तो छोराहरू पनि घरमा हुनु हुँदैन।
So we must not be like a Cain in the house.
हामी हाबिल जस्तो गुवाचे छोरा पनि घरमा हुनु हुँदैन
He must not be so innocent and so ugly and so naive like Abel in the house.
घरमा कसरी रहनुपर्छ बाउको अनुग्रहमा भन्ने कुरा थाहा नपाउने भएर बस्नु पनि हुँदैन
And we must not know, and we must not be ignorant about the grace of God, the protective elements of grace in the house.
अनि हामी सेत जस्तो छोराहरू पर्छ जसले परमेश्वरको आराधना गर्न परमेश्वरको आज्ञा पालन गर्न सक्छन्
So
आमेन
we must learn from life of Seth that he was the instrumental and he was a reason that all the people began to call the name of the Lord again.
अनि हामीले अर्को एउटा उदाहरण पनि हेर्नेछौँ
Also we are going to see another example here.
हामीले कतिजना थाहा छ नुह
So we know about the life of Noah.
जब नुहले जहाज बनाउन थाले अनि जहाज बनाएर जहाजमा पस्न लाग्दाखेरि नुहको छोराहरू पनि बाउसँग सहभागी भएका थिए
And when Noah started to build the ark, his son also came and joined with him to help him to make the ark.
अनि जब परमेश्वरले जलप्रलयद्वारा पृथ्वी नाश गर्दै हुनुहुन्थ्यो
When God was going to destroy the earth with the flood,
अनि त्यो समयमा बाउसँग आएर बसेको छोराहरू चाहिँ जलप्रलयमा पनि बाँच्न सफल
and
भए
those sons were connected to the Noah's son were connected to his father spiritually, and they were with him in the ark, and all the household of his sons also were saved along with Noah.
हामी सबैले बुझ्दछौँ कि त्यहाँनिर ती नुहको छोराहरू चाहिँ त्यस्तो जलप्रलय हुँदा सर्वनाश आउँदाखेरि बाँच्न सफल भएको कारण चाहिँ बाउ सँगसँगै उनीहरू आएर
The reason that the sons of Noah were saved in the judgment of flood were they were connected with Noah and they are covenanted with Noah. They are with Noah.
हामी सबैले बुझ्नुपर्ने कुरा चाहिँ यो छ कि हामीले घरमा कसरी रहनुपर्छ त्यो जान्नुपर्दछ
And we must know how to be in the house, how to connect it in the house, the grace in the house.
घरमा रहनको लागि एउटा पहिलो उपाय भनेको
The first things
पहिलो उपाय अनि पहिलो उपाय भनेको चाहिँ यो हो तपाईको आफ्नो दर्शन र योजना हुनु हुँदैन
The first step that you have to be in the house is that you must lose your vision. You must give up your vision.
तपाईको आफ्नै भिजन छ भने तपाईले बाउको भिजनलाई सुन्नुहुन्न
If you have your own vision, you will not listen. You will not respond the vision of your father in the house.
तपाईको आफ्नै योजना छ भने बाउको योजनालाई तपाईले सुन्नुहुन्न
And if you have your own plan in the house, then you will not involve into the plan of the father in the house.
परमेश्वरको योजना चाहिँ के हो भन्दा घरमा छोराहरूको आफ्नै भिजन र आफ्नो दर्शन हुँदैन तर बाउको भिजनलाई छोराले बोक्नु पर्ने हुन्छ
The plan of God is the sons must not have their own agenda, and the sons must not have their own vision and the plan and the agenda, but they're supposed to continue the legacy and the vision from their father and fulfill what they could not fulfill before.
हालेलुया बुझ्दै हुन्छ अब यहाँ म तपाईलाई बताउँछु येशू ख्रीष्टले परमेश्वर पितालाई पिता तपाई स्वर्गमा बसिराख्नु म पृथ्वीमा मान्छे पापमा फसेछन् गएर सबैलाई पापबाट बचाउनु भनेर आफ्नो योजनाले आउनु भयो कि पिताले पठाउनु
Jesus did not come to this earth by himself, but the Father sent him on the earth.
तपाईले बुझ्दै हुनुहुन्छ येशू ख्रीष्टलाई पिताले पठाउनु भयो हैन त
Yes.
So we know that God sent his Father to the earth.
येशू ख्रीष्टले पिता तपाई यही बस्नु म जान्छु भनेर आउनु भएको होइन
And Jesus did not ask permission, and Jesus did not ask God that I will go to earth, but God sent him down to the earth.
अनि त्यस्तै स्वर्गमा जस्तै पृथ्वीमा पुरा हुनको लागि
In order to fulfill the same vision, same plan on the earth as it was in heaven,
हामीले पनि घरमा आफ्नो इच्छा र योजना र दर्शनहरू मर्नु पर्दछ हाम्रो
so similarly, we also must have no any vision, must have no any other agenda than what we have in the house.
हाम्रो डाक्टर सिन्डीले अघि दाउदको बारेमा कति राम्रोसँग बताउनु भयो
And we heard about David from Dr. Cindy.
इसैले चाहिँ दाउदलाई केही पनि मर्को गरेको थिएन
And his father Jesse did not count of anything to his son David.
तर दाउदले बाउको भेडाहरू जङ्गलमा हेरेर गोठालो गरेका थिए।
But David was shepherd boy in the field with his sheep.
तर डेभिडको आफ्नै भेडाहरू थिएन।
It was not his own sheep, but it was his father's sheep.
तर घरमा 7 भाइ छोरा चाहिँ बाउसँग ए बाउ तपाईँ राम्रो हुनुहुन्छ तपाईँ असल हुनुहुन्छ भनेर घरमा बाउसँग बसेका थिए।
And there were other 7 sons who were staying in the house. They were happy with his father, they were enjoying with his father, they were flattering around his father.
बाउको छोराहरूसँग पनि मक्ख परेका थिए।
And those sons were flattering around the father, and the father were so pleased with his sons in the house.
तर दाउद चाहिँ घरमा बाउसँग बस्ने फोकलाई पनि उनले मारेको थियो।
But David, he sacrificed the will, his own desire to be in the house, and he sacrificed and he went out to the wilderness.
अनि उनले बाउको भेडाहरूलाई चाहिँ मैले हेर्नुपर्छ, यो चाहिँ बाउको बिजनेस हो, मैले बाउको व्यवसायलाई चाहिँ मैले सम्हाल्नुपर्छ, जसको निम्ति बाघसँग लड्नु परे पनि भालुसँग लड्नु परे पनि मैले लडेर बाउको बिजनेसलाई सम्हाल्नुपर्छ भनेर दाउदले हेरिरहेको थिए।
And David had a purpose in his heart that this is my father's sheep and this is my responsibility to protect them, to feed them well, and also to protect them, and whether I should fight with the bear and the lion, but my ultimate responsibility is to protect them and to rescue them.
जब राजा हुने समय आयो,
But there was a time when he had to be a king now.
जब राजा अभिषेक गर्ने समय आयो,
When there was a time when he had to be anointed as a king.
घरमा बाउसँग पोको गरेर बस्ने सबै छोराहरूलाई परमेश्वरले भन्नुभयो, ए होइन यिनीहरू मैले चुनेको होइन।
And all the sons who were staying with his father in the house, God rejected them all.
अनि परमेश्वरले भन्नुभयो, ए मानिस यही हो, यो यही हो, यसलाई अभिषेक गर भनेर त्यो बाउको भिजन बोक्ने, बाउको दर्शन बोक्ने, बाउको योजना बोक्ने, बाउको योजना प्रति आफूलाई समर्पण गर्ने छोरालाई चाहिँ परमेश्वरले स्वर्गबाट हेरेर भन्नुभयो, राजा यही हो।
When Samuel saw David, the young boy David, then God said that this is a person, you should anoint him. And God saw the heart of David, that he has a heart of responsibility and he can fulfill the plan that God has for him.
अनि परमेश्वरले डेभिडलाई राजा अभिषेक गर्नलाई
Then God instructed Samuel to anoint David as a king.
हामीले थाहा पाउँछौँ जब बाउको बिजनेसलाई सम्हाल्ने एउटा डिसिजन गर्छौँ,
When we decide ourselves to handle, to manage the business of our father,
परमेश्वरले तपाईलाई अर्को जिम्मेवारी दिनुहुन्छ।
then God will give you another assignment. He will give you more responsibility.
अनि त्यही दाउदलाई फेरि उतापट्टि इजरायलमा लडाई चलिरहेको बेलामा, प्यालेस्टाइन र इजरायलको लडाई चलिरहेको बेलामा,
At the time there was a battle going on between the Philistines and Israelite.
अनि इसैले भन्छन् जाऊ तेरो दाजुहरू लडाईमा छन्, के गर्दैछन् हेरेर खबर लिएर आऊ भनेर बाउले उसलाई पठाउँछ।
Then Jesse sends his son David to the battlefield. Go and see your brother, meet them and see how they are doing.
मैले दाउद कसरी घरमा बाउसँग रहेको थियो भने, घरानामा कसरी बाउसँग रहेको थियो भन्ने कुरा बताउँदैछु।
I'm talking to you about David, that how he was in the house and how he was responsible for his assignment and his responsibility for his duty.
जब
How he was loyal to his responsibility.
जब इसैको भेडाहरू हेर्दै थिए, बाउको बिजनेसहरू सम्हाल्दै थिए, हेर्दै थिए, उनले त्यो चाहिँ काम एउटा अर्को मानिसलाई जिम्मा दिएर बाउले भनेको मानेर गएर दाजुहरूलाई हेरेर जाँदै थिए।
While David has his father's sheep with him, he did not just leave the sheep unattended, but instead of him, he finds somebody else to take care of his father's business so that it would be continued. And then he came back to his father and went back to meet his brothers on the battlefield.
अनि बाउले उनलाई बोकाएर पठाएको दागरसहरू, किसमिसहरू, सामानहरू सबै त्यो सामान राख्नेको जिम्मा दिएर ऊ चाहिँ
Also, we can see another responsibility that David had was whatever the gift that his father was sending to his brother through David, he goes to the he's reached to the battlefield, he put that in the side of it, and he finds somebody to take care of this to gift, and then he goes to his brother.
बाउले पठाएको सामानलाई उनले दाजुले फालेर उतै गएर दाजुलाई हेर्न गएन, हेर्न रमाइलो हेर्न गएन, लडाई हेर्न गएन, तर बाउले जुन सामान पठाएको थियो त्यो सामान राख्ने व्यक्तिको जिम्मा दिएर गयो.
We see here that David was never irresponsible for what he had. Even though this gift that his father was sending to his brother, he went and kept aside, and he gave it to the caretaker, and those people who took care of the gift, then he went to his brother.
अनि जब दाउद घरमा बाउको दर्शनको निम्ति आफूलाई समर्पित भएर बाउको योजनाको निम्ति समर्पित भएर उनले काम गर्यो, फिलिस्टिनी गोलियत मार्न पनि सफल भयो.
And this man was really committed. He was really committed to the voice of his father, and he was really committed to the committed and loyal and faithful to the instruction of his father, so that in result of that he could kill a Goliath.
तपाईलाई लाग्छ गोलियत त्यतिकै मर्यो.
And you think that just David just killed a Goliath just like that, but there is a process in background.
त्यो हातमा पावर, अभिषेक, शक्ति र सामर्थ्य आउनको लागि तपाईलाई दिएको जुन जिम्मेवारी छ, जुन बाउले दिएको जिम्मेवारी छ, त्यही जिम्मेवारीप्रति तपाई वफादारी हुनुपर्ने देखिन्छ त्यहाँनिर.
And for us to have a power, to operate in the power, we must be obedient, and we must be so serious in the obedience in the instruction that comes from the father in the house.
परमेश्वरको घरानामा हामी कसरी चल्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा जानेनौँ भने एकदमै भद्रको जीवन जिउँछौँ, जसले गर्दा कहिले पनि अघि डाक्टर सिन्जीले बनाउनु भएको थियो त्यो अधिकार नगर्ने विश्वासी जस्तो मात्रै भएर बस्छौँ हामी.
So if we don't know how to conduct in the house of God, then we never become a mighty Christian. We never operate in the power. We never can step into the government, but we will be just a religious Christian coming to church and going back. We will be so frivolous that we cannot use the authority, and we never become a governmental if we don't know how to maintain the protocol in the house.
आफ्नो इच्छा र आफ्नो दर्शन र आफ्नो योजनाहरु चाहिँ तपाईको योजनाहरुसँग तपाई मरेको हुनुपर्छ.
And you must die for your vision, for yourself, for own self.
अनि बाउको भिजन र बाउको दर्शन तपाईले लिएर अगाडि बढ्नु भयो भने अनि तपाईले त्यसपछि मात्रै तपाईले शत्रुहरुमाथि विजय पाउने क्षमता पाउनुहुन्छ.
You have to put on the vision of the Father that God has kept in the house. You have to put on the vision. You have to go on with that. Then only you can have a victory over your enemies.
हालेलुया. जुदै हुन्छ. तपाईले सोच्नु होला पास्टर मार्कमको चाहिँ भिजन र दर्शन मात्रै बोकेर हेर्नु भनेर जसरी सिकाउँदै हुन्छ भन्दै हुन्छ होला मनमा.
Maybe you are thinking that Pastor Joseph is preaching to have a Pastor Malcolm's vision and go on.
म तपाईलाई आज समग्र परमेश्वरको घरानाको एउटा संस्कृति र कल्चरको बारेमा तपाईलाई बताउँदै छु जो कि हामीले राज्य गर्न सकौं भनेर.
I'm talking about the principle and the protocol of the kingdom of God, that how we should be operated in the house.
एलिसाले यर्दन नदीलाई दुई भाग पारेर हिँड्नु भन्दा पहिला
before Elijah separated the Jordan into two.
उले आफ्नो खास्टो जो आफूले ओढिरहेको खास्टो चाहिँ उसले च्यातेर दुई भाग पारेर जब फालेन.
Before Elisha received a mantle from Elijah, he had to throw his own mantle into two.
अनि बाउको खास्टो टपक्क टिपेर जब ओड्यो अनि त्यसपछि गएर यर्दन नदीको पानीमा यसरी गएर बाउको खास्टोले छक्क पानीमा हान्यो. यर्दन नदीले पनि एलिसालाई बाट्यो.
Before Elisha received the mantle of Elijah, he had to tear his own mantle into two. He had to remove it, and then he picks up the mantle of his father. He goes down to the Jordan and he strikes the Jordan with the mantle, and Jordan was divided into two.
यर्दन नदीले तपाईलाई बाटो दिनु भन्दा पहिला तपाईको आफ्नो दर्शन र तपाईको आफ्नो इच्छा र तपाईको आफ्नो खास्टो चाहिँ तपाईले सातेर फाल्नु पर्ने हुन्छ.
You have to destroy, and you have to put off your own mantle before the Jordan gives you the way.
अनि भाउको खास चाहिँ तपाईले जब ओर्नुहुन्छ इमिडिएटली हेर्दै तपाईलाई बाटो दिनेछ
And as soon as you put off your own mental and you put off the Father's mental which has come from God, and then only the Jordan, when the Jordan sees that, it will give you the way instantly.
हालेलुया खास अनि जब हेर्दै तर वारी आइपुग्छन् अनि त्यो 50 जना अगमवक्ता आएर
Then when the Then when Elijah crossed over the Jordan, then there are the 50 men of prophets. They come to Elijah and they bow down before him.
त्यो 50 जना अगमवक्ताले आफ्नो खासको च्यात्नु सक्दैन
But those 50 prophets, they could not dismantle their own mantles.
त्यो 50 जना
They could
अगमवक्ता
not put off their mantles.
त्यो 50 जना अगमवक्ता एलिया सँगसँगै एलिसा जस्तै भएर हिँड्न सकेन
Those 50 prophets, they could not become like Elijah. They could not put off their own mantles.
अनि त्यसकारण टाढै उभिएर के हुँदो रहेछ भनेर हेर्ने मात्रै तमासा हेर्ने मात्रै भनेको
And the Bible says that they stood far off and they just watching, they're observing like a guest.
जब हामी टाढो बसेर तमासा हेर्छौं पछि गएर त्यो परमेश्वरको जनको खासको ओडेर आफ्नो खासको च्यात्नेको अगाडि गएर घुँडा झुकेर ढोग्नु पर्ने दिन आउँछ
And when we just standing far off and when we are just watching and not involving ourselves into the process, then we must be humiliated. We cannot access into the reality of the grace.
तपाईलाई थाहा छ 50 जना अगमवक्ता चाहिँ तमासा हेरेर मात्रै एलिसालाई भन्दै थिए तपाईको मालिकले परमेश्वर लाँदै हुन्छ थाहा छैन
And these 50 people, these 50 prophets, they could not access into the grace, but they were just watching from far and they were not involved into any process. And they although they knew everything, that they knew all that God was about to take off the Elijah from over them, but they could not involve themselves into this process.
एलिसा भन्दै थिए चुप लाग
But Elijah told them to just keep quiet for now.
आउँछ भने म चुप लाग भनेको आउँछ भने म सँगसँगै आइद नभए चुप लाग भनेको
When when these 50 people, they came to Elijah and they said that, do you know that the God is taking your father over from you? Then Elijah said, stay quiet for now.
Yeah.
It means what Elijah trying to say to them was, if you want to involve into this process, if you want to become like me, you just come and follow with me to him. But if you don't want to follow him, you just stay quiet.
त्यसको परिणाम 50 जना अगमवक्ता चाहिँ पछि गएर एलिसाको अगाडि गएर घुँडा टेकेर ढोक्नु पर्यो
And in result of that, these 50 people, the 50 prophets, they could not join with Elijah, but from far off, they saw all things, what was happened, and then later on, they came to Elijah and they bowed down before the Elijah. But for themselves, they could not receive anything as Elijah received.
राज्य गर्नु र शासन गर्नुभन्दा पहिला चाहिँ तपाईको आफ्नो भिजन र आफ्नो योजना चाहिँ तपाईले जातेर फाल्नु पर्ने
So before you come into the dominion, before you step into the position of a government, you have to put off your own mental, you have to put off your own vision, you have to put aside all the agenda, all your personal agenda that you have already.
त्यही भएर रोमी 6 अध्यायमा भन्छ तिमीहरू चाहिँ ख्रीष्ट येशूसँगै पानीमा बप्तिस्मा लिँदाखेरि तिमीहरू मरेको हुनुपर्छ तिमीहरू ख्रीष्ट येशूसँग मरेको भयो भने अनि त्यसपछि तिमीहरू उहाँसँग पुनरुत्थान हुन्छ
That's why in Romans chapter 6 talks about that you have been dead in Christ, dead with Christ, and you have buried with Christ, and if you are buried with Christ, then you have also resurrected with Christ.
अनि त्यसपछि तिमीहरू पनि ख्रीष्टसँगै पुनरुत्थान हुन्छौ
So you will also raise with Christ Jesus.
अनि हामीले जबसम्म हाम्रो इच्छा र योजना र दर्शन मर्दैन र पुरानो स्वभाव नेचर मर्दैन तबसम्म कुनै पनि हालतमा हामीले राज्य गर्न सक्दैनौं.
So there will be no resurrection, there will be no dominion unless you die for yourself, unless you die for your vision, unless you die for your personal agenda and all that. Unless this happens, you will have no dominion, and we cannot step into the meaning of
तपाईँको
dominion.
भिजन र तपाईँको दर्शनमा इच्छामा तपाईँ बढेपछि तपाईँले कसको दर्शन लिनुपर्छ कि तपाईँले त्यो पहिचान गर्न सक्नुपर्छ।
And after dying for your vision, after dying for your desire and the will, then you have to decide, then you have to perceive that whose will and the desire should I put on.
अनि हामी एकजना व्यक्तिलाई हेर्छौँ, त्यसको बारेमा कुरा गर्छौँ। अब त्यो व्यक्ति अब्सालोम भन्ने कतिजना थाहा छ अब्सालोम?
So we are also now we will see about going to discuss about the Absalom, the son of David.
कसैलाई थाहा छ, कसैलाई थाहा छैन हो।
How many of you know there is Absalom in the Bible?
Who hang on the tree?
Yes, the same Absalom.
अब्सालोमलाई तपाईँले हेर्नुभयो भने अब्सालोम चाहिँ बाउको स्थान लिन खोजेको छ।
Absalom was a man who tried to usurp the place of his father, the throne of his father.
अब्सालोम चाहिँ आफै राजा हुन खोजेको छ।
And Absalom was the man who tried to declare the king by himself.
अब्सालोम एउटा छोरा भएर पनि छोराको जिम्मेवारी के हो भन्ने कुरा उसले बुझ्न सकेन।
Absalom was a very irresponsible son. He could not understand the responsibility and the boundary of the sonship.
अनि अब्सालोमले एउटा इच्छा गर्यो, त्यो इच्छा चाहिँ हो इजरायलमा म राजा भएर म इजरायललाई न्याय दिलाउँछु भनेर सम्पूर्ण मानिसलाई आफूतिर खिच्यो।
And Absalom was the son who stole the hearts of the people towards him from the people, because thinking that I will be a king over the region, I will be the king over the Israel, and I will give justice to all the peoples wherever they have a case.
उसले आफ्नो दर्शन बनायो कि म इजरायलमा राजा हुन्छु भनेर सबै कुराको प्रिपरेसन गरेर 50 जना मान्छे अगाडि पछाडि दौड्ने मान्छे तयार गरेर उ चाहिँ राजा हुने मनसाय बनाएर एउटा इच्छा गर्यो।
So Absalom became a lustful to be a king, and he proposed himself to be a king over the Israel, and he prepared a 50 horsemen to run before him and run after him, and he prepared the people for himself because he dreamed of himself that he will become a king.
उसको बाउ डेभिडलाई चाहिँ परमेश्वरले राजा नियुक्त गर्नुभएको व्यक्ति हो। परमेश्वरले नियुक्त गर्नुभएको व्यक्तिको विरुद्धमा मैले खडा हुनु हुँदैन, मैले चाहिँ उहाँको अधीनतामा रहनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा अब्सालोमले कहिले पनि सिकेन।
Absalom did not know and did not realize that his father David was a God's appointed king, God's anointed king, and he must not raise against him, and he must not rebel against his father, because he was the genuine, and he was a genuine king appointed and anointed by God.
अब उनले आफ्नो राजा मात्रै हुनु खोजेन, तर उसले आफ्नो बाउलाई नै मार्ने निर्णय गर्यो।
And he didn't only try to become a king, but he also tried to kill his father and become a king.
जब बाउलाई मार्नु भनेर बाउलाई लखेट्दै जाँदै थियो,
While he was running after David, he was pursuing after David in order to kill him.
अब्सालोमको कपाल चाहिँ कपाल लामो ठुलो कपाल भएको कारणले कपालमा नै रुखले समातेर झुन्ड्याइदियो।
The Bible says that Absalom's hair was long, and as he was running on the street, his hair was hanging over the tree, and he was fallen into the trap on the tree, and he was hanged, and he
रुख भनेको अर्थ चाहिँ सृष्टि हो।
And the tree represents the creation here.
अनि जब आफ्नो दर्शन र योजना बनाउँछ र परमेश्वरको दानको विरुद्धमा खडा हुन्छ, सृष्टिले आक्रमण गरेर मार्छ।
When the sons are disobedient, and try to kill something that God has genuinely placed on the place, then the creation will raise up against those things, and they will bring a judgment.
परमेश्वरको घरमा छोराहरू कसरी रहनुपर्छ भन्ने जो सिद्धान्त छ, त्यो सिद्धान्तलाई जब हामी ब्रोकन गर्छौँ, हामीलाई सृष्टिले आक्रमण गर्छ।
So whenever you break the principle of the sonship in the house, whenever you break the boundary and the protocol of a son in the house, then the creation will raise against you, and they will bring the judgment over you.
के कुरा बुझ्नु भयो?
Getting something?
Yes.
हामीले यी धर्मशास्त्रको पुरानो करार किन लेखियो भनेर हामीले त्यसलाई बुझ्नु जरुरी पर्छ।
And the Old Testament was written for our admonition and for our learning, and we must understand this.
त्यसबाट हामीले पाठ सिकौँ र नयाँ करारको समयमा घरमा कसरी जिउनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा अनुसार जिउन
The Old Testament of the Scripture was written so that we can learn from them and we can conduct right things in the New Testament.
साँच्चै भन्नुपर्दा सुरुमा हाम्रो घरमा हाम्रो बुवासँग एकदमै धेरै छोराहरू विद्रोह भएको समयमा त्यस्तै खालको कुराहरू भएको थियो
And in the beginning of the establishment of this church, we had a lot of rebellion, natures and activities in the church before.
सबै छोराहरू चाहिँ अब्सालोम जस्तो भएर खडा भएर बाउको विद्रोह गरिरहेका थिए
Most of the sons were rising against father and they wanted to take over.
थ्याङ्क गड परमेश्वरलाई धन्यवाद भएको मलाई आफ्नो बाउसँग कसरी रहनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा परमेश्वरले त्यो बुद्धि दिनुभयो
So I must thank God because He gave me the wisdom that how I must be with my father.
अनि आज म तपाईँको बिचमा यसरी खडा हुनु मौका
So
पाएँ
this is how I embrace this grace.
350 छोराहरू चाहिँ सायद कसैलाई रुखले झुन्ड्यायो कसैलाई खाल्टोले पुर्यो कसैलाई के भयो थाहा छैन।
And we don't know all those almost more than 300 people, they are not with us now.
आज चाहिँ एकअर्कालाई नबिटिने गरी घुस्दै उडाएको छ तिनीहरूलाई
So they are like sads flying away from the wind.
हामीले बुझ्नुपर्ने हुन्छ घरमा बस्ने तरिकालाई हामीले रिजेक्ट गर्यो भने हामीलाई पनि सृष्टिले आक्रमण गर्छ भन्ने कुरा बुझ्यौँ
Now if you misuse the purpose and misuse the position that you are in as a son, then the creation will rebel.
तपाईँलाई थाहा छ उडन्त पुत्र कतिजनालाई थाहा छ
Now how many of you know about the prodigal son?
उडन्त पुत्रले आफ्नो इच्छा के जाहेर गर्यो भन्दा ओहो म बाउसँग बस्दा बस्दा हैरान भयो म बाउसँगबाट म अलग भएर जान्छु र म जे मन लाग्दै गर्छु भन्ने एउटा इच्छा लियो
So this prodigal son must be feeling so boring to stay with his father. So one day he decided to take his person and depart from father, to go away from father.
अनि तपाईलाई थाहा छ उसँग भएको कुराहरुलाई पनि कहाँ खर्च गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा उले त्यो बुद्धिले गुमायो
And this man, he does not know how to handle the resource that he has and how to manage his resource that he has as his person.
उले आफ्नो इच्छा अनुसारको जीवन जिउँछु भनेर जब हिड्यो त्यसले पैसा खर्च बेच्चासँग खर्च गर्नुपर्छ हुँदैन भन्ने कुरा पनि उलाई आएन
This prodigal son did not know how to manage his wealth and how to manage his wealth, and he did not know how to
उडन्त पुत्रले चाहिँ पैसा कहाँ खर्च गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने बुद्धि पनि आएन उलाई
and he didn't have a wisdom to manage the wealth that he had.
He did not have the wisdom where to use the
Where
money.
to use the money, how to manage the resource that he has as his person.
जब बाउको इच्छाबाट विपरीत आफ्नै इच्छा पूरा गर्न लागिन्छ त्यसपछि त्यो बुद्धिको पाइप पनि टुटेर हुन्छ
So when you depart from your father, it does not matter whatever wealth and how much you have, but the wisdom and the sanity that you have will depart from you.
अनि घटना कहाँ पुग्छ थाहा छ तपाईलाई
Then the scenario, the situation becomes worse and worse.
अनि त्यो ठाउँ पुगेको ठाउँ पनि श्रापित हुन्छ र त्यो ठाउँ पनि ड्राई ल्यान्ड हुन्छ अनिकाल पर्छ
And then when the sanity leaves you, when the wisdom and the sanity departs from you, then wherever you go, those lands will become a dry, and those will not be fruitful anymore for you.
बाउको इच्छा त्यागेर बाउको योजना र दर्शनलाई त्यागेर आफ्नै योजना बनाएर हिँड्छ भने त्यो पुगेको ठाउँको पनि आकाश पनि बन्द हुन्छ
And if you rebel the plan and the purpose of Father God in the house, then if you try to live by your own, and if you create a strategy to live by your own, then wherever you go, the land will not give you any production, and the heaven over you will be shut. Will be shut.
Are you understand following me?
Yes.
उडन्त पुत्रले म त बाउसँगबाट छुटेर आफ्नो इच्छा अनुसार जिए भने त म त एकदमै खुसीको जिन्दगी जिउँछु भन्ने सोचेको थिएँ नि त
The prodigal son, He was so boring with staying with his father, and he thought, and he wanted to live by his own, and he wanted to live by separating from his father. He wanted to start his own lifestyle in his own freedom.
अन्तमा म एउटा व्यक्तिलाई बताउन चाहन्छु
So I would like to bring one more example now.
त्यो व्यक्ति चाहिँ सोलोमन राजा हो
The man called Solomon.
सोलोमन राजा हुनको लागि बाबा मलाई राजा बनाउनु भनेर उनले भनेनन्
Solomon never asked his father to become a king.
सोलोमन चाहिँ एकदमै शान्तिसँग घरमा
He
बसिरहेको
was a man of peace. He always peace in the house.
अनि सोलोमनले चाहिँ बाउसँग डिमान्ड नराखेको कारणले सोलोमनको निम्ति अगमवक्ता नातान अगमवक्ताले बोलिदिए बनायाले बोलिदिए अरू मानिसहरूले सोलोमनको लागि दाउदसँग कुरा गरे अनि सोलोमन चाहिँ बाउको इच्छा
Solomon was so quiet and he is so peace in the house that he did not demand anything to his father. He did not have any personal agenda, any selfish agenda to his father. Then, on his behalf, the prophet Nathan came to him and they spoke for the David.
बुझ्नु भयो
Yeah.
बाइबलले भन्छ संसारको सबैभन्दा बुद्धिमानी राजा चाहिँ सोलोमन
And Bible says that he was the wisest king on the face of the earth.
बाउको इच्छा बुझेर उसले काम गरेको कारणले संसारको सबैभन्दा
The
बुद्धिमान
man who can understand the vision of father and fulfill it. This is how he uses his wisdom as a wisest king on the earth.
नयाँ करारको समयमा एकजना व्यक्ति त्यस्तै थिए
And in the New Testament there was a man.
तिमोथी कतिजनाले चिन्नुहुन्छ तिमोथी
How many of you know the Timothy in the Bible?
है
Not me, the one in the Bible.
अनि तिमोथी चाहिँ जहिले पनि पावलले जहाँ पठायो त्यहाँ जान्थ्यो होइन बाबा म यो पालि चाहिँ एन्टिओकियामा जान्छु यो पालि एफिससमा जान्छु भनेर तर पावलले जहाँ पठायो त्यहाँ जाने
So Timothy was so obedient son to his father that wherever Paul would send him for the ministry, he was ready to go. He was willing to go for the ministry.
अनि तिमोथीले चाहिँ के गर्थे भन्दा बाउको रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्ने काम गर्थे
And wherever he went, wherever he goes, he would represent his father as wherever he goes. Father Paul, and wherever he goes.
पावलले चाहिँ के गर्थे भन्दा परमेश्वरले भन्नु भएको अनुसार कुरा चाहिँ तिमोथीलाई बताउँथे तिमोथी
So what Paul used to do was, he used to get an instruction from God. He got an instruction from God, and in the same instruction, he used to instruct his son Timothy, and Timothy used to go on the field and do accordingly.
म पनि घरमा हुँदाखेरि 10 वर्ष 11 वर्षसम्म ड्याडले म जान्छु भन्दै बस्थे
When I was here in Dubai, in the house, almost for 10 years, 11 years, I used to say, Dad, I want to go.
त्यो चाहिँ मैले मेरो इच्छा र मेरो दर्शन मलाई भन्दै थिए
And that was my own will, that was my own vision, that's my own agenda that I was sharing to him.
अनि नेपाल जानुभन्दा 2-3 वर्ष अगाडिदेखि चाहिँ परमेश्वरले मलाई मेरो मुखमा टेप लगाइदिनु
Now, from the past 3 years, God closed my mouth. So I didn't say anything to him.
अनि त्यसपछि मैले प्रभु उहाँको मुखबाट जहिले तपाईले भन्नुहुन्छ त्यही बेला मात्रै जान्छु
So I decided not to ask anything with Pastor Malcolm, where I want to go, when I want to do what. I don't want to ask anything. So I decided to keep quiet. Then from past 3 years, I was just praying to God and I said that God, whenever He wants me to go to Nepal and He will speak through the Pastor Malcolm, then I know that this is the time for me to leave. Then only I will go.
यसको मतलब हामी परमेश्वरको कुरा सुन्नुपर्छ मानिसको कुरा सुन्नु हुँदैन भन्ने कुरा होइन
It does not mean that we must not hear anything from man and we only have to hear from God.
परमेश्वर चाहिँ तपाईको आत्मिक पिताबाट भएर तपाईको
God always speaks through the man. God always speaks through the sick man, and He speaks through the man that is appointed in the house.
जसरी सम्पूर्ण इजरायलको लागि परमेश्वरले मोसासँग बोल्नुभयो
So, like for example, for all the Israelites, God used to speak through the Moses.
अनि त्यसरी नै आज घरानाको लागि चाहिँ परमेश्वरले आफ्नो अभिषिक्त जनबाट
Even for today, God is speaking to His household through the sick man in the house.
अनि हामीले आज परमेश्वरको घरमा कसरी चल्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा हामीले सुनिसकेका छौँ।
So we have learned about how to conduct the certain things, the pattern, the behavior, the attitude in the house of God.
परमेश्वरले तपाईहरु सबैजनालाई आशीष दियोस्।
God bless you all. God bless you all.